Well, we're in Mount Kai. We got a hotel. I think it's kind of close to your brother's house, honey. I'll be close. My wife's brother has a house. He lives here. He has a condo in Halong Bay too. But the lady who owns it, I guess it's only been built 5 years ago. It's very clean, very nice. I guess no business because China's not open because we're on the border of China. That's the bathroom. And this lady actually she's Vietnamese, has a Chinese husband she ain't seen now in 2 to 3 years because of COVID. And if you can see at the end of the street where there's the real big buildings, we're gonna walk down there later, so I'll do another video. I think all those big buildings, they're in China. There's a river that separates Vietnamese from China, but at the end of this street there should be a river, and all those buildings is China. It's very big city on the other side with the Chinese, but 3 years of lockdown, there's no business here. I think nobody travels, but I think they still trade with the big trucks, bring stuff to China, and China brings stuff here, but nothing like they used to because it's difficult. But it's a shame. Well, I don't know. We might stay here 1 day, 2 days. We don't know what we're going to do. We just decided to get away. We're walking down. We're in Mount Kai, right? Mount Kai?
Mount Kai.
Mount Kai. Walking down the street from the hotel. Going to walk to the river where we can see China. That's China where all the buildings are. But my wife lived in this town 4 years, she said. I don't know how many years ago, some years ago.
12 years ago.
12 years ago, she said. But when she lived here, all these houses and buildings, none of them were here, she said. There wasn't hardly nothing on this side. So it all grew in that short time. Of course, right now it's very dead, hardly nobody, because China's not open. But she said she did go over to China before for a day. I don't think she spent the night, just for the day. And she said China is more clean than Vietnam. She said it was very nice over there. And I can see many big buildings, so I don't know if they're at a standstill because of COVID or if they're still under construction. But once China gets off the zero policy, COVID zero policy, and open up where you can go across the border easy. This is Vietnam. There's the river, that's the border. And on the other side, everything you see is China. And on the map, it looks like a very big city. We'll go, while I'm here, we'll either drive the bike where the place is where you walk across to the border. But it's closed right now because you can't go in China. Maybe some people are getting in China, but they have to quarantine so long nobody wants to do it. But I guess inside it's very beautiful over there, because that's what Kai said. She's been there. She was there before. But just like Mexico and US, I guess you can go across this river and you'll be in China. But my wife said the Chinese will come and shoot you dead, so who knows. I think she could be joking. I don't know if they'll shoot you dead, but they probably got cameras up everywhere. I see cameras over there now, see? Yeah, they got cameras everywhere along the border. But
They have a camera.
yeah, I'll film a little bit of Mount Kai while we're here to see what it looks like. I didn't film any driving here. It was going through a lot of mountains. But I'll film and see what this town's about. We're along the river next to China. These are new buildings, brand new. One occupied on the end, but most of them are all empty. Vietnam has this everywhere. Many new buildings, very beautiful. But each unit, and you can see, that's one unit where you see one door. That's another unit. These things sell for 300, 400,000 US dollars. And they're still making them on the street behind. But they're empty because of COVID. But I see this in Halong, I see this in Hanoi, Saigon, everywhere you go. We're taking a walk tonight with my wife, her brother, and brother's sister-in-law. I think we're walking to where the border gate is, where you go. I'll take a picture of that when we get there, but Wednesday, we're gonna in Mount Kai. We're just gonna drive around, take a look at this town, go to the border, take a look at the border to China. I might have to use my phone, take a picture over in China, because I noticed on my camera it's a little far. My phone I can stretch so I can see across the river, but very close. Going out looking for some place to sell breakfast now. Talking on this video. Kai's driving now. She knows this area pretty good because she lived here a long time ago, for a few years. But the lady who sold the breakfast told Kai many people have sold their home and moved away because there ain't many jobs here since the border closed. Almost 3 years ago now. is that, a hospital?
No, casino.
Casino. Ah, for the Chinese.
Boss,
Huh?
boss closed the English, not
Ah, that big building was a casino because Chinese love to gamble, but Ty said it's closed down since COVID came, and whoever owns it wants to sell it because there ain't no business no more. But I seen that in Cambodia across the border. There's lots of casinos too, and most of them are closed down because there's just no business. There's a building, it looks like probably pre-COVID, and it came to a standstill. And you see that all over Vietnam. And China, what we can see too. Wow, that was a big casino. Wow.
China.
Yeah. But on the other side of China, I can see a lot of big buildings under construction, but it looks like they at a standstill. They just stopped work on them. There's another building. Just stopped work. You can see the crane vines growing up on the crane. They took the top of the crane down, I think. But then there's another one they're making now. Other ones, maybe they went bankrupt, I don't know. That's China. There's the river. On the other side of that river is China. We walked along the river last night, and you can see not many lights on, lots of buildings. Look at the fence there, honey. Very high. Gonna go by it though, right? The bridge, that bridge. There's another border where the trucks go. It's not here. We would have had to take a different road, but that's where most of the 18-wheelers go when they're hauling back and forth to China right now. But as far as small people buying and selling with China, Vietnamese sell to China, China sells to Vietnamese, all of that ain't happening because China's closed still. Are you gonna drive close to the border, honey? The bridge? There's another big building. I can see, no, I can't tell. I think yeah, it's at a standstill too, I think. Temple. You can see some of these businesses written in Chinese because a lot of the business is China when they could come to Vietnam. Huh? No, we don't have to worry about the bike. I mean, I know it's dirty, but we'll worry later.
You go down to look maybe
No, it's good.
Huh?
It's good. Why, it feel funny driving? big building over to my left. There's like a big outdoor market, inside market between Vietnamese and Chinese. But this is still, people are still selling here. This ain't the one that this is. Oh, they call it walking street. Okay, oh, that big market is still open. Oh, I see people in there, honey. Maybe not many people. I see clothes up. You probably buy some cheap in this town, right? Because everything, they have many things in China. Yeah, you can buy probably about anything in this town because it all comes from China. I guess this would be like the middle of the original town out by. What's that building? A big hotel? You think? There's lots and lots of marketplaces around here. I can't believe the buildings I see, honey. That's the stop work on. Oh wow, that's these things are missing. Is that open? Maybe open, but no business. Big hotel, but I don't think they have much business. Very little. Looks like they're working on it too. That's another, this big building looks like it was brand new and they never finished. Yeah, this whole building is brand new, but Chinese make all this. That looks like a mall that they were making, but they never finished it. Never finished this building. This is the border that you would go. I see some people waiting, but I don't think many people can go because China, they had a 7-day quarantine. Now maybe I heard they went down to 5 days. So I don't know if either Chinese. I'm sure a few people are going into China, but it's not really worth it. I don't even see the border guards. I seen them open the gate a minute ago. I might be all they don't open yet. But not many people are coming and going. You're always going to have a few, but wow, just empty. But
busy,
yeah.
Some thousand.
Every day. China, they actually build a lot in Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. But you can see, I don't know where the money comes from, but they invest a lot of money, and they'll have to redo these things when they start working again, because sitting 3 years, you can see them falling apart. Wow, honey. There's another example of a building that was under construction, and when things closed down, I'm assuming it stopped at that time and ain't been worked on now in almost 3 years. They just put up a fence around it. They take down some staging on the crane, and it sits. I don't know if people go bankrupt and the bank owns it. Where you want to drive, honey. You're going to drive close to some beach. And there's another one, big house or something. Never finished. But these hotels, what'd you say, there's 8 rooms in the one we're at? How many bedrooms the lady had? 8? Oh, I don't know. I know there's at least, the little hotel we're at, it's beautiful. The lady keeps it spotless. I know there's at least 6 rooms, 3 on our floor, maybe 3 on the next floor. But we were the only ones there. She don't have any business. Her husband's Chinese, he's in China. She had a 8-year-old, a 10-year-old son, but it ain't even her son. I guess the Chinaman she's been married to a long time, he had another baby with another Vietnamese woman in Saigon, and that lady didn't want to raise it, so she brought it, and she's taking care of that baby. We got it on that thing. We're driving around this town. Maybe guys can drive to a beach. We just came down maybe 15 minutes south just to look at the water for a minute.
Em ở Hải Yên. Em ra đây em ngắm biển một tí thôi.
Anh kia kỹ được cây.
Anh ấy là người Mỹ.
Đúng rồi, anh biết rồi, vì anh ở từ Hồng Kông anh biết rồi.
Đấy à?
Hồng Kông 5 năm rồi anh biết rồi.
Thế à?
Chồng em ấy.
Vâng.
Cho buổi sáng à.
Hello, xin chào chị.
Xin chào.
Him say him stay Hồng Kông là 5 years.
Bỏ bác là mau về có khi nào.
Dạ vâng.
À vậy mà trong em ở nước ngoài à?
Vâng, anh người Mỹ.
Em ở nước ngoài ở nước nào?
Không.
Driving down here, you see lots of empty hotels boarded up, and then there's a whole complex here, and they're actually working on it, but nobody's buying.
Chồng em về đây ở.
They'll get all these houses framed up. I don't think they put the windows in until somebody buys it, and they don't finish off the insides. That's how they sell things here. You buy it, and then you have to finish off the inside. And even at the end of this street, big church, it looks like maybe, I'm guessing Catholic, but I don't think it's open. It looks like they were doing construction on it. Maybe it might be brand new and maybe they didn't finish it, but we're just going to look at the ocean here for a minute and then we're going to drive back. We're out at the beach, Mount Kai. Came down, and as far as I can see, you only see 1 or 2 people way down there, a couple fishing boats out here. But the beach is empty, and the water actually looks a little clear. And this is all the new construction that they're making. And like I said, no one's bought anything, it's all empty. And so you see many buildings closed down, hotels closed down and boarded up, so I don't know. But this is Vietnam, they keep on building. I guess in the future, maybe it will be busy again, I don't know. These are the houses they're making next to the beach, which I actually like. They're nice modern type looking. Like I said, I don't think when they make these, they frame them up, and I don't think they usually put the doors and windows in. I don't know if the people who buy it, they do that, but the inside will stay. You can see it's blocked, and then people come in and bust through the brick, put wire and pipe in, and they finish them off. But it's a nice little style, and the people working on them, you see a lot of women doing the construction. But the woman in Vietnam, they work construction. They do a lot of stuff like the men do. Actually, they probably work harder than the men. We're just at the end of the street, so at the beach. They have a security guard, and all these people always have a thing. They make tea, and so we have to sit down and drink a cup of tea, little tiny cups of tea. But this is typical to many places in Vietnam. But my wife was telling me this man, he lived in Hong Kong. Hong Kong's pretty close to here, right, hon? Yeah. He lived in Hong Kong 5 years, and then he came back.
Him and go with a wife, wanna go 3 countries, but Hong Kong.
Em bảo anh là
Philippines soon.
Anh làm như vậy mình nhá. Mà từ 6 giờ sáng tới 6 giờ tối.
Đúng rồi.
12 tiếng hồ. Mà lương nó có.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his security got over, but there ain't nobody at the beach. And I don't think anybody's going to come down and steal anything down here. Nothing worth stealing.
Vì ở nhà đến chơi với làm gì đâu.
We're on the little island just south of Mount Kai. Very dead, many hotels dead, and they're still making new houses because this would be a very expensive place to live when the world is opened up all the way. We're just taking a ride to the very tip. There's the truck, honey, that comes to the beach. I don't know. Huh? Put motorbike over here? What's that say though, the sign?
Có mô tô.
No auto?
No car, but motorbike, okay.
Okay. Make it park right here, honey. Okay.
Stop over there, I make a picture.
We go look over there after.
Tràng Vĩ, vành đai biên giới giữa Việt Nam và Trung Quốc.
We're at the tip of the island. I stretched the phone out. This would be where the ocean is, and I tried to stretch, but if you can see way in the background where you can see land and buildings, that would be China. These boats sitting here would be in Vietnam if we're still here. I don't know how far out you can go until you're in China water, but I'm sure these fishermen know, because you don't want to get caught in China. The water you see is the border between Vietnam and China, and it's a pretty big city over there according to Google Maps. I ain't never been there, but you can see new construction that was started, just sitting at a standstill, probably 3 years. Just like Vietnam though, they have many buildings, nothing's gone on in 2 or 3 years, while you'll see other new buildings under construction. I'm sure the same thing going on in China. I don't understand it, but